Are we there yet?
No.
Also, one thing I do want to say, when I saw this, like the um the messed up arms and such, I thought the game was about to end because this is one of those end of game Q credits kind of twist. So yeah, we're playing as Nazi robot, guys. We were playing as a Nazi robot all along.
Oh my god.
Yep. It's again like if this was any other game where we were playing as a character, maybe. But this is in VR, where we are wearing the head and where we're wearing the TV. Like we are the Nazi killing robot.
Okay, I want to just say something. We've grown fond of you. You people hacked me. So no shit, you've grown fond of me and I've been killing Nazis because you're making me do that. I'm a robot.
Yeah, this really is the
That's
part.
so
This really is the part where I feel like the game.
drops the ball.
Yeah, like I've already mentioned this before, but this is the part where I felt like the game was about to end. Nope. Here's mission 4.
Oh god, we're back on the drone.
We're back
Oh,
in.
God.
We're back in the drone, and I feel like I
Oh,
should
God.
take. I feel like I should take this as an opportunity to go back to something I was talking about before, where I felt like the game was made with PlayStation first. The control scheme is based around motion, but I'm pretty sure that on the PlayStation, you use the analog stick to move up, down, left, and right, which is way better because there's not like any involuntary movements. Like
Yeah.
your hands aren't as shaky because they're not your hands. They're both hands holding the controller.
Yeah. That completely makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So in this mission, we're basically going from like drone to mech to drone to mech to wave shooter, and the wave shooter part you'll see it when it gets there. Or you know what? No, I might as well just spoil it right now because it does one thing that I'm really pissed off about. Basically, around the end of the game, there's a section where you fight against a bunch of strong enemies, and it's one of those you're supposed to lose this kind of battle, except we don't tell you you're supposed to lose this battle.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't like that garbage. Like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, so I get that cutscenes are a bit more difficult to do in VR, but again, if you're going to make me lose in a cutscene.
Yeah.
But oh no, we cannot advance because the water is electrified. Which means we're switching back to the drone,
Oh
baby!
my god.
Yeah, I really don't like this.
So it's what, just 3 minutes of 3 minutes of controlling the drone. Well, actually, 2 minutes of controlling the drone, 3 minutes of 1 minute controlling another mech, and then back to the drone for another two. It's like,
Well,
oh my god.
the next segment is going to take a bit longer.
So this
it's-
segment's gonna take longer.
Not the drone segment, but like the next side mech segment.
Oh,
Also, note how we died and we respawned in a different area than the one where the checkpoint was. The game just kind of assumed that I was going there, so that's where the checkpoint is. But that's not where
Yeah.
I was. And this computer is also supposedly the one that's been hacked. So, yeah. I need to go back to a place where I've already been before. Because reasons. You know, part of me also kind of wonders why I picked this game in particular, because this isn't. I don't think this should be. This should be like the VR game to show off. Like, again, it's not that the game is bad, because in a way, yeah, it's pretty impressive that they managed to make this.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just a lot of things in there that don't make any sense whatsoever.
Like, oh hey, you're a robot.
That as well. I mean, to be fair, Doom VFR also does a similar thing, but in Doom VFR, it just goes like, yeah, you're one of the security guards at the UAC, and that way they managed to make a companion title to Doom 2016 that doesn't feel out of place, and it still manages to make you pretty badass. Even though
I mean, you're kind of badass in this. And by this, I mean this suit. This mech suit.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel as badass. I don't know, like, I'd rather just be shooting Nazis with guns and shooting them from within a coward droid, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind being in a mech.
Right.
So I mean, either way, you're still shooting Nazis.
Yeah, that is true. And I should also mention that the reason why we're in the mech, it's actually a pretty simple one. A common way to combat motion sickness on VR is by putting a stationary object around you. That's pretty much the reason why. Like, it's
And yet now we're controlling a drone.
Yeah, but it's weird how the human brain works from time to time. But yeah, if you have something stationary around you, like, you know, like the frame of a mech or a cockpit, your brain is suddenly like, yep, I'm okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
People also tend to refer to it as VR cages, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I understand where the name is coming from. Now, I will say that, again, well, not again, like, it's weird. Also, was this where I was scratching my back? I mean, I was doing something. Yeah, just to make this clear, the total amount of footage was 1.5 hours. I did not edit this whatsoever. So, of course, you're also going to see me die like a couple of times in, I think, the upcoming part. Anyway, where was I?
VR cages.
Oh, right. Yeah, like, it's weird, because on one hand, I would say that VR is something you need to get used to, but there are some people out there who just cannot get used to VR, and it's like, it basically reminds me of the one thing that my father told me when we got our PlayStation VR, and we both tried out Gran Turismo Sport, which has PSVR functionality. I was basically fine, but my father told me that when once he got out of VR, he basically felt like he was drunk in a way.
Yeah. No, I completely understand what he means. I completely understand what he means.
And it's like, on one hand, I would say it's a generational difference, but it ain't. Because I've seen people of my age who cannot handle their their VR, and then there is my friend Mike, who is 27 and owns an Index, and with him it's all a-okay.
Yeah, it just more depends on on the VR experience and the type of person.
Oh yeah, yeah, like
Like,
that,
I mean,
that as well.
playing a first person shooter in VR, it would be like basically like Doom or the main Wolfenstein games or Borderlands. Those would work.
Yeah.
Something like this really wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got another question for you. I've already mentioned before how I think that it's great from Bethesda that they try to keep supporting VR for as long as they could. But basically, they released 4 noteworthy VR titles. That being Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR, Doom VFR, and Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Would you rather have a port of a game that is not in VR and played in VR, or would you rather have a game that was made from the ground up for VR?
Ground up. Ground up.
Okay, so you would prefer this over Skyrim VR.
Yeah. Although granted, well, not this particular game, because yeah, no, the drone segments, yeah, I don't like those. I do. The drone segments kind of make me feel like I'm playing a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Granted, if I was using a controller, I probably wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, I don't know if you can play the game with a regular controller on PC VR.
Which is why it's on Steam.
Yeah. But I do prefer it when a game is made when a game is made from the ground up for VR. It's also one of the main reasons why like did you know that somebody made a VR mod for Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much everybody who played it is all like, yeah, I'd rather play Alex. Because Alex, Alex is made with VR in mind.
VR.
And because of that, it works.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I do feel like by giving us Fallout 4 and Skyrim VR, Bethesda, at the very least, gave us something to play in VR. Like, they justified my $600 viewfinder. And you look at an HTC Vive and tell me that ain't the viewfinder.
True.
I mean, no, I remember when I asked my grandmother to repair my Vive, and she basically sent me a WhatsApp message going like, your binoculars have been repaired. I should mention, by the way, it's not the it wasn't the Vive itself that I need to have repaired, but the head strap that came loose. So I asked her if she could repair it, because she's really great with that kind of stuff, and she did. So thanks, Gran. I know you're not watching my videos or YouTube in general. But thanks, just in case. But yeah, as I was saying, I do want to give Bethesda credit for, at the very least, giving us something to do in VR. Because especially in the beginning, like, and I say in the beginning, but this is something that in more ways than one still counts. There is not that much to do in VR. Like, we haven't got that many noteworthy titles, and like I've already talked about before, I feel like the reason why it's because we're in a never-ending circle between between nobody has VR, so nobody develops for VR, and because nobody develops for VR, nobody buys VR.
Yeah.
Like that remains the primary reason. And again, even though it's getting more it's getting more popular, we're not there yet. And I feel like it's gonna be a long time before we're getting there. But I do believe that the PSVR 2 will actually aid in it. Because PlayStation VR 2 is on a platform that can actually handle VR. And I mean proper VR. And it got all the bells and whistles. Yeah, so this is basically the part where you're supposed to lose. Like, thanks game.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but still. Yeah, this is the part where I basically go like, now what? And then the elevator handle breaks and... Yeah, so... Looks like our base has been compromised.
Oh no.
Luckily, we have two neatly positioned machine guns right here.
There are no more machines at your disposal, Cyberpilot. You have to protect yourself now.
Like, I'm telling you, this game, it's pretty much the VR equivalent of an identity crisis. Like, do you want to be a game about controlling a mech? Do you want to be a game about controlling drones? Do you want to be a game about controlling this mech? Or do you just want to be a wave shooter? I don't even know if it's possible to fill here. Like, you don't have a health bar. So like, yeah.
Maybe you should have tried.
Nah. I should also mention that at this point, because I was wearing my both my scarf, my Vive, and my headset. I had a wire going, like smacking pretty hard to my, being pushed pretty hard into my head. So at this point, I kind of had a headache, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna finish this as soon as I can.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
While holding your machine gun pistols, gangster style.
Yeah, I'm still kind of in San Andreas mode.
There's actually a cheat for that in Ratchet Deadlocked.
Oh, really?
That you hold the Twin Viper pistols, gangster style. When I play that game, I always have that on. 'Cause it's just a funny cheat.
Yeah. I also have to give some credit for giving the machine pistols laser sight, but also not. Like, I don't know, man.
Our defense strategy was successful. Thank you for
Yeah, so time.
Yay.
the resistance, Cyberpilot.
Oh yeah, also I kind of skipped here because I didn't realize I was supposed to nod.
Oh.
The game didn't
Can
signal
you
that
shake your head?
I nodded.
I know, but can you also shake your head?
It probably doesn't register.
Lame.
So yeah, that was Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. And we have like 7 minutes of credits.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
So you know how I mentioned before that about 10% of the game is the tutorial?
This is another 10%.
10% of the game is credits. So 20% of the game, you're not even playing it. An additional 30% of the game, or no, like 20% of the game, it's basically a whole bunch of nothing. You also you also cannot let go of the guns.
The pistols. Lame.
Now, one thing I will give them credit for, you can see that cup, right? The one that has a sticky note on it saying not a mimic.
Yeah.
That's actually a friendly nod to Prey 2017. Because
I forgot that was Bethesda.
So did I, because the game is actually good.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
I do like a lot of this stuff that Arcane produces. It's just a shame that Arcane also happens to be the studio behind Redfall.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Arcane is also directly responsible for this game. But it could also be that that's because they developed Youngblood, which again this is a companion title to. Or they didn't develop Youngblood, but like they were involved in Youngblood. I believe they did stuff like stage design, which is their area of forte.
Yeah.
I should probably play Youngblood one of these days.
I'm disappointed you've stopped playing Drake and the 99 Dragons.
Huh?
That's how you were shooting all over.
Oh, right. Yeah, well,
Because that's literally how you based how... That's... Because when you were just looking around shooting during the credits, my mind goes to the AVGN episode where he just does that, and basically he has a fight with the code of the character, and they're both literally just shooting random directions.
I mean, I might shoot again. It's not like I've got anything better to do.
Than to sit here and stare at the credits.
Again, if this was not a VR game, this would have been fine, because I could have looked on something on my phone or on the second monitor. But no, now I'm in VR. So I cannot go anywhere.
If only you got this on the PlayStation.
Well, I mean, on PlayStation it's the same story. I also would have had the headset on.
Oh, okay.
But I do think that I would recommend this game on PlayStation. The controls probably would be better. That's the thing, though. Like, I'm working on assumptions. I don't know how the game actually is like on PlayStation. But I'm like 90% sure that it's that it prioritizes the DualShock 4. I think I can actually check that though. I mean, it's not like I've got...
He's dead, Edgy. Stop shooting him.
No.
Where'd that body even come from, by the way?
I have no clue.
Because it's like, if they were right there, they could have basically been able to just like take our chair down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's oh god. I forgot I did this.
What?
I got bored at this point. If you're gonna give me music, I'm gonna pull off garbage like this. Oh, also,
yeah, no.
The game is also currently on sale for $5 on PlayStation as well.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, so it supports 2 PlayStation Move controllers. However, the movement is optional. So I do believe it's made with controller in mind. We still have 2 minutes of credits left. Right. Yeah. Anyway, that was Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Overall, like I've said before, I will give Bethesda credit for actually supporting VR, but this game, it didn't do it. There's too many problems that I have with it for it to give an actual recommendation, but it is only $5, and it's $20 if it's not on sale.
It's not a recommendation. It's more of a if you're curious, get it on sale type recommendation. Then
Yeah, like if you want to get into the Wolfenstein reboot series, um, you
Get
can
New Order.
Get the New Order. Yeah.
yeah,
And if you're more like modern stuff, I guess I could recommend Wolfenstein Youngblood. If you get the deluxe edition, you get a buddy pass with it, so you can suffer through the game with a friend.
oh, you make it sound like a bad thing.
Well, people don't really like Wolfenstein Youngblood. It mainly has something to do.
Oh.
It mainly has something to do with the characters. I haven't played it myself. For the most part, from what I believe I played the first segment, so that I did like. I mean, look, get Wolfenstein the New Order, get Wolfenstein 2 the New Colossus, get Wolfenstein Youngblood, get any of those, and you'll have a way better experience.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, get it if you're curious.
Yeah,
That type of recommendation.
yeah.
Essentially is what you're saying.
But anyway, that was Wolfenstein Youngblood. We are a Split Screen Squad. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself an amazing evening, night, day, whatever the hell it is.
Wait, you're not streaming.
I still do my outro. Bye.
Boom.